Hi, this is Raciel Ocampo, Sterling High School, class of 2009. Sean and I overlapped what was his senior year, my freshman year. And at the time, I was kicking for the sophomore team. Sean was the starting quarterback for the varsity team and the kicker. And the varsity team had done so well in the first 3, 4 weeks of the season before Sean had injured himself. What I think he had broken his collarbone and he was done for the year. And that's when I got called up in week 6. And little did I know, week 6 was against Geneseo. Both teams were undefeated, and honestly felt like the back then the NCIC championship game. I remember being nervous, and that week was just man. I remember it like it was last week because I was so nervous. And that first Monday, there was 3 people that came and introduced themselves to me, which was Ryan Freed, Nicholas Weir, and Sean Bright. And those 3 throughout the season just kind of kept an eye on me and showed me to the locker room, would drive me to team dinners, would make sure I was going to be at practice or not, things like that. And it just made me feel good because I didn't really know anybody. It was my 5th week in high school. I don't know any juniors or seniors, let alone any sophomores' names. But I was just nervous all week. And once we got closer to game time that Friday night, I kicked up to the third quarter for the sophomore game. And I remember going back, changing by myself, walking over to that dark area where Geneseo's practice field is. And I was just nervous. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know the warm ups. I didn't know anything was going on, but I just felt alone and super nervous. And then I remember we walked over to the field, and you can just feel the electricity. You hear all the noisemakers. You see how many people there was, but also the cameras. And that's when I realized this was a big game. For most of you, it would have felt like a Super Bowl. For me, as a soccer guy, it was the World Cup final. I did not know what I was getting myself into, but I was super nervous, and it was just, man, it had been no more than 2, 3, 4 minutes before kickoff when Sean was going around. He wasn't playing, but he was in his jeans, his white jersey, and he had a white towel around him. I don't know if that was for him being nervous to wipe his hands, but I just remember he was focused. It almost looked like he'd go out there and play if he had to, but he was going around motivating everybody. And I remember he came to me almost last and just hit me on my shoulders. And everything, just kind of to wake me up. And I remember him saying, "Are you ready for this? It's gonna be a big game." And I said, yeah, I think so. I think so. But I think he could see how nervous I was. And the coolest thing he ever said that I'll never forget was he just grabbed me by the shoulders and the helmet and he said, "Coach believes you can handle this. That's why he called you up. We, as your teammates, believe it too. So go show Geneseo what they're going to not look forward to for the next 4 years." And maybe it wasn't verbatim, but it was something close, just like that. And he was just from the quarterback, the leader. Even though he wasn't playing, we all knew it was his team. He had done so well. He'd been preparing for so long, and it was just one of those things where my fear, my nerves turned into kind of focus and motivation to not fail him, Nick Weir, nor Ryan Freed, nor my family. And that game was just awesome. It was just a game I'll never forget. We ended up winning 28-7. Everybody played so well. We just dominated, and it just felt great. And that's why learning of Sean's passing hit me a different way, because I always looked up to those 3 as examples, role models, even today, following them on social media from afar. But I've just ever since then, I've always been nervous before soccer games or anything like that. So I've always worn a kind of a bracelet, something like this that says "Never stop yourself." And it's just kind of reminders to myself that before games, it's cool, it's okay to be nervous and big moments in life, but then go attack it. And that's kind of Sean's mentality. Is he was always smiling. I just always remember seeing him and Nick arm in arm, and Nick calling him Shawnee Boy and things like this. And it's just those moments that I wanted that. I wanted a brother, if you will, a friend, a close best friend you could call a brother, and that's what Nick and Sean were, and that's what I always saw, even past graduation. So. Just his words and his example really just fed off of other people. So to his family and his friends, maybe we lost Sean, but just remember everything you've gained and learned and all those fun memories you had with them.